Hi, this is your host Finn, and just a disclaimer at the top of this episode, like with last week, our audio is still fucked. So we just wanted to give that disclaimer, just to make sure everybody's aware. We did our best, or I did my best, to fix the issue, but to no avail. So, despite that, enjoy the episode. There was also an issue at the end of this episode where it kind of just cut out. So I'll fill you in at the end of the episode. I guess, see you at the end. Enjoy the episode. This is, I guess, this one's a weird one. Have a nice time. Welcome to this episode of the Voynich Manuscript podcast. My name is Finn Hammersley, and today I'm joined by...
I'm Quinn. No! Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Madeline. So, today is actually a very special episode, because today I'm covering my first creepypasta.
Oh, is this that motherfucking Slenderman?
Well, actually, I say it's a creepypasta, it's more like an urban legend that was first told on the internet, which I guess kind of...
The entire SCP.
Yeah. And today we'll be covering Black-Eyed Children.
I love pasta.
This time get copyrighted.
I'm not gonna. As fucking funny as that would be, I'm not running the risk of getting Fergie on my ass.
Fergie will hunt you down.
Alright. So have either of you two ever heard of the Black-Eyed Children?
I've heard of the Black-Eyed Peas, yes. I still listen to their music.
Yeah, I love the Black-Eyed Peas. I had a whole phase.
Actually, I don't love the food Black-Eyed Peas, but I think the music was okay. Some of the later songs I really didn't like, but like some of their songs from like the mid to late 2000s,
like early ones, yeah.
You know, like Boom,
like
Boom,
the Green,
Pow, stuff
yeah.
like that.
Stuff from the Green album was great.
And got I'm a Bee.
I'm a bee.
And like others.
I had like a whole like Black-Eyed Peas phase as a kid.
The Black-Eyed Peas like big hits on it.
There's a Black-Eyed Peas song that I'm embarrassed that me and my dad know fucking word for word, and it's... Is that a Black-Eyed Peas song?
It's not a Black-Eyed
Okay, I was about to say... Oh yeah, the Black-Eyed Peas song that me and my dad know word for word and sing at the top of our lungs every time it comes on in the car is My Humps.
Wow.
And we are embarrassed but at the same time proud of each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, so...
Story.
Yeah.
Of Will I Am.
So the Black-Eyed Children. I almost said the Black-Eyed Peas. The Black-Eyed Peas is a Black-Eyed Children. Fuck you, Madeline. Is a story that first appeared on a forum back in 2007, I think.
4chan or something.
Seven.
You want to know how no, this was like 1990 something, 98, 99. But I was looking at articles and everything about this, trying to find the original story, which I'm going to read basically verbatim because it's a fucking stupid story. The original story of the Black-Eyed Children. And I had to use the Wayback Machine to fucking find it.
Wayback Machine.
No, but like the fact that there was links to the article on like the original forum post many times, but like I had to use the Wayback Machine to actually be able to access those links. It was.
So you did find it.
I found it after about an hour of searching, but it was worth it because. So I'm about to tell the story of a man named Brian Bethel, who...
Not Will I Am?
Not Will I Am. Who, in the 90s, had an encounter with black-eyed children. Not the Black Eyed Peas! So, I'm like I said, I'm going to read his forum post basically word for word. I've changed. I've gotten rid of bits, just like the bits that didn't matter. Anyway,
It's about the Black.
Everything matters, Finn.
Well, no, it's stuff like him describing the mannerism of children because he was a teacher. No, he was a journalist actually. But
that's the most important bit.
5 people on this list of members of the Black Eyed Peas.
Anyway, so I shall begin, and feel free to interrupt me any time. Not with the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
So, my internet service provider used to have offices in the shipping centre before they moved to their comparatively lush accommodations elsewhere. There was a drop box at their original location, and my monthly bill was due, and thus there was but for the grace of the internet I went. It was about 9:30 p.m. when I left from my relatively isolated apartment. It was about a 10 or 15-minute drive or so downtown, and right next to Camelot Communications' old location is a $1.50 movie theatre. At the time, the place was featuring that masterwork of modern film, Mortal Kombat. You can see that is what is written down.
That is what is written. Yes. What a masterpiece of a film.
Masterpiece.
I enjoy the original Mortal Kombat film.
Don't.
I enjoy it in the same way you enjoy watching a car crash.
I think like the room or something, up just straight to a car.
I drove by the theatre and on my way into the centre proper and pulled into an empty parking space. I used the glow of the marquee to write out my check, and I was startled to hear a knock on the driver's side window of my car. I looked over and saw 2 children staring at me from the street. I need to describe them. With the one feature, you can guess what it was, that I didn't realise about them until halfway through the conversation, cleverly omitted.
Conversation?
Yeah, he referred to a forum post as a conversation. Both appeared to be in that semi-mystical stage of life children get to, where you can't exactly tell their age. Both are boys, and my initial impression is that they were somewhere between 10 and 14. Boy number 1 was the spokesperson. Boy number 2 didn't speak during the entire interaction, at least not in words. Boy number 1 was slightly taller than his companion, wearing a pullover hooded shirt with a sort of grey checked pattern and jeans. I couldn't see his shoes. His skin was olive colour and had curly medium-length brown hair. He exuded an air of quiet confidence. Boy number 2 had pale skin and a trace of freckles. His primary characteristic seemed to be looking around nervously. He was dressed in a similar manner to his companion, but his pullover was a light green. His hair was a sort of pale orange and didn't appear to be related, at least directly. Oh great, I thought. They're going to hit me up for money. And then the air changed. So there I was, filling out a check in my car, which was still running, and in a sudden panic of the appearance over 2 little boys, I was confused but an overwhelming sense of fear and unearthliness rushed in, nonetheless. Boy number 1 smiled, and the sight, for some inexplicable reason, chilled my blood. I could feel the fight or flight response kicking in, something I knew instinctually was not right. But I didn't know what it could possibly be. I rolled down the window very, very slightly and asked, "Yes?"
I'm a beat.
Yeet.
Alright, before I go any further, any comments or theories so far?
Don't talk to the children, they're possessed, drive away.
This is the intro. This is actually the origin story of the Black Eyed Peas. They were 2 children looking to create a band, looking for just a little bit of money from this poor man.
A little bit of startup cash.
A little bit of startup cash.
They wanted to swindle him out of his energy bill check.
Yes.
Internet bill check.
That's it.
Please, we require the money to become the hit band Black Eyed Peas.
We're looking for a Fergie. Are you willing?
What's actually going to happen? No, this is Fergie and Will.i.am.
The
2 people that
the 2
only
boys,
2 people that
Fergie and
anyone knows.
Will.i.am.
Fergie and
The
Will.i.am.
2 people that anyone knows or cares about from the Black Eyed Peas. Let's be honest, do you remember any other member?
I forgot Will.i.am was in Black Eyed Peas. I just remembered Fergie.
Exactly my point. So it's Will.i.am and Fergie together. Infants at this rate. and they're like,
Infants at the age of 10 to 14.
Yeah.
please, we require thy cash to create epic song Boom Boom Pow and milk money.
Number one hit in
One hit is
2011.
2008.
The one hit,
So-
my humps.
It's actually gonna happen because I know the story. He's going to turn around and say, "Hey yo, fuck you, bitch." This man's name, Kanye West. Kanye West did not give them the money.
Changed his name recently.
Yeah.
Wait, it was just Yee?
Yee.
Not Yeezy?
I don't think it was easy. I think it was just Yee.
It's just you.
But I'll be referring to Yee as Kanye because I like dead naming people. Kanye did not give them the money, and instead drove off, thinking those two would never collect 4 more random people and become one of the biggest, pop, like what music, dance,
Pop rock?
Pop,
rock
hip-hop.
music of their time, and
It's music.
music and create
Music.
some of the number 1 hits of all time. Little do they know, Kanye was wrong. That's the rest of the story.
And then 5 years later, he went on the stage and Taylor Swift.
Finish.
I'm letting you.
We got it.
To Obama.
Obama and Kanye.
Anyway, back to the story.
The third child in the car, because I swear to God.
There isn't a. Yes.
There was 3. You
No,
said
there
there was
isn't.
3 at the start.
No, I said 2.
Yeah, but like the title of it is the 3.
What? No,
Black-eyed
the title was
children.
Black-eyed Peas.
Okay,
Children.
well, okay, maybe
The
it
title
was
is
2.
The
Maybe I
Black-Eyed
just wanted to
Children.
say-
They're mildly zoned out. Are their eyes black?
Uh,
Or are they
He-
regular children?
Yeah, but he doesn't
line-
know it.
a
For some reason.
brilliant line from earlier is, I need to describe him with the one... Oh, hello, cat.
Oh, hello,
With the one feature you can guess what it was that I didn't realise about until halfway through the conversation cleverly omitted. So in other words, he's not mentioning it yet.
Okay, but it's there.
He hasn't somehow noticed that their eyes aren't freaking eyeballs.
Sorry, let me get the cat out of here. I know you don't like the cat.
Okay.
You don't like the cat?
The cat is homophobic. I got paid.
Are you afraid of the cat, or are you
I don't
allergic
like-
to the
I
cat?
really don't like cats. The only time I'm
Oh.
willing to put up with cats is if someone I'm talking to on Tammy is really cute.
Okay.
Cat did this to me fucking yesterday. Look at that.
Oh Jesus! I was wondering when you got those.
Yeah.
I got paid.
Anyway, cat's removed.
Cat has been deleted.
Delete cat. Okay. The first boy smiled again, broader this time. His teeth were very, very white. Hey, mister, what's up? We have a problem, he said. His voice was that of a young man, but his diction, quiet,
But it's
calm, and something I couldn't quite put my finger on. Maybe a desire, made my desire to flee even greater. You see, my friend and I want to see the films, but we forgot our money, he continued. We need to go to our house and get it. Want to help us out?
Mm-mm.
bro.
Mm-mm.
I forgot my
Mm-mm.
money.
Mm-mm.
The
Nope.
kid was in no way fitting the mold of a normal child. His command of language was incredible, and he showed no sign of fear. He spoke as if my help was a foregone conclusion. When he grinned, it was as if he was trying to say, I know something, and you're not gonna like it. But the only way
Something
you're
you don't know.
yeah, but the only way
I know
you're gonna
something
find
you
out.
don't. I know something you could never know.
But the only way you're gonna find out is if you do what I say. Well, was the best way I could offer. Now, here's where it starts to get strange. The quiet companion looked at the first boy with a mixture of confusion and guilt on his face. He seemed, in some way, shocked, not with his friend's brutish manner, but that I didn't just immediately open the door. He eyed me nervously. The first boy seemed a bit perturbed too. I was still registering something wrong with both. Come on, mister, the spokesman said again, smooth as silk. Car salesman could learn something from this kid. Now, we just want to go to our house, and we're just 2 little boys.
That's the most not 2 little boys that you could possibly hear. We are just 2 little boys, do not worry.
That really scared me. Something in the tone, diction, again, set off alarm bells. My mind was frantically trying to process that was perceiving something that... I'm going to try it again. My mind was frantically trying to process what it was perceiving about the two figures that was wrong. Was all I could manage. I felt myself digging my fingernails into the steering wheel. What movie are you going to see? I asked finally. Mortal Kombat, of course. The spokesman said. The silent one nodded in affirmation, standing a few paces behind. Oh, I said. I stole a quick glance at the marquee and at the clock in my car. Mortal Kombat had been playing for an hour by now, the last showing of the evening. The silent one looked increasingly nervous. I think he saw my glances and suspected that I might be detecting something was not above board. All right, any other theories?
I don't have a theory on this. I just want to point out I opened Facebook because I have ADHD.
Yep.
And the first thing I saw was someone saying what drains our social batteries, and the number one thing was yelling at the artist I commissioned to make Scooby more voluptuous.
That once again sounds something that Sky would do. With their obsession for Scooby-Doo and commissioning.
Yes. There's things I need to commission.
Well, I'm going to be quick. I'll talk to you about it soon. Quinn? Yeah, any theories?
The children are possessed, and it's because of the raccoons.
We're not bringing Raccoon Theory. I made Raccoon Theory. We're not bringing that.
Yeah, well, too bad. I
know when Raccoon Theory is here. This is not a time for
Yeah, it's now.
It might come up later, but it's not right now. Right now, my theory is... How much Mortal Kombat have you played in your life, Ben?
A lot. I've played a lot of Mortal Kombat.
You've played more than I have.
Probably.
So, the only Mortal Kombat I've ever played was Mortal Kombat 10.
I played 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, others.
I played 10. And
9.
I don't remember anything about it.
Shit.
That wasn't that bad. Freddy Krueger in it. He wasn't very good. Anyway, I forgot what my point was. But I think these children have been possessed.
By Shao Kahn.
No. The first one has clearly been... The talking one has clearly been possessed by fucking Johnny Cage. It's not his name. Is it?
No, Johnny Cage.
It is Johnny Cage, yeah. Because he's a smooth talker. The second one, possessed by the twink from Mortal Kombat 10. I don't remember his name.
The twink?
The twink with the whipped.
What was his name?
With, like, the spiky things. He was a very useless character.
Oh!
All he did was have sex with Cassie.
Fucking Japanese fella.
Takeda?
That might be
I think it's Takeda.
it. Why specifically him?
Because he wasn't a very egotistical boy. And because he was very scared of Johnny because he's dating Johnny's daughter. So when they died in Mortal Kombat, I don't think either of them died in the story. It's like it's like a 6-year-old game.
Is it?
Yes. Mortal Kombat came out in like 2016. More than that.
No, I'm googling it.
Yeah. It might be like 2015. It's an old game. It's not spoilers. A whole other game has come out since then. It's like
2015.
2015. It's not the 7 years. And
I've had that game for ages.
I've had it for 7 years.
I've had it for probably like 6.
So, yes. So as I was saying, because Johnny Cage possessed the first child after they were probably brutally murdered in some way or another. I don't know. I always chose Johnny as my enemy when I played the game because I hated him. And mostly his obnoxious "Here's Johnny" fucking finisher.
I like that one.
It was fucking stupid. It was terrible. And it was annoying to do.
It's a reference to a film I like, so
Yes.
I appreciated it.
It's a film most people like, because it was a very good film.
Yeah.
And a very popular film.
Yeah.
So, and then Takeda possessed the other one after he also probably got brutally hurt. Because it's Mortal Kombat. And then they possess these children, and the only way they can get back, because you know how Mortal Kombat story is convoluted and boring.
Yeah.
And the only way they can get back is by watching the entirety of the Mortal Kombat film, so they get teleported back to their realm.
The Nether Realm.
The Nether Realm.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's my theory.
That is, out of all of the bullshit theories you've made, that's probably my favourite one so far.
I don't know if it's better than Raccoon Theory.
No.
Raccoon Theory is always the best.
A lot of things are better than Raccoon Theory.
Raccoon City. How did Silent Hill come in? That was how
Resident Evil.
Was
the It's the T-virus.
the guy in the car going to watch the movie as well?
No, he was going to pay his internet bill by handing in a check. Because this was the 90s when you still had to do that.
Alright, cool, great.
Why would they just internet?
Alright. Where was I? There. Boy 1 continued to say, "Come on, mister, let us in. We can't get in your car until you do, you know."
They're vampires!
Boy 1 said soothingly, "Just let us in. We'll be gone before you know it. We'll be at our mother's house." We locked eyes. To my horror, I realized my hand had strayed towards the door lock, which was engaged, and was in the process of opening it. I pulled it away, probably a bit too violently, but it did force me to look away from the children. I turned back, I offered weakly, and then my mind snapped into sharp focus. For the first time, I noticed their eyes. They were coal black. No pupil, no iris, just two floating orbs reflecting...
My favorite. Slack.
Shut up! Reflecting the red and white lights of the marquee. At this point, I know my expression betrayed me. The silent one had a look of horror on his face with a combination of what seemed to indicate A, the impossible had just happened, and B, we'd been found out.
Hang on a second, I'm getting a phone call!
I think he's not gonna. He hasn't gotten a phone call.
Apparently.
Yeah, I've just been texting someone like after this time.
Yeah, I got a notification. So I'm on Timey as well. No.
I'd say I could find you, but I can't. I don't have males listed.
I don't have females listed on my so equal, I guess.
Actually, I'm not listed as a female. I'm listed as non-binary.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now I'm talking about how the Wiggles creeped me out when I was little, and it all started because I sent this to them.
Alright. The spokesperson, on the other hand, wore a mask of anger. His eye glittered brightly in the half-lights. "Come on, mister," he said. "We won't hurt you. You have to let us in. We don't have a gun."
Hello, mister. We do not have a gun. Please.
We do not have a gun, yes, because that's trustworthy.
"Come on, mister. Our eyes are not black and we do not have a gun."
I am not possessed, you are.
"You're not puppets for our Lord and Saviour, Beelzebub." I noticed my hand shooting down towards the gear shift. The spokesman's final words contained an anger that was complete and whole, and yet contained in some respects a tone of panic. "We can't come in until you tell us it's okay. Let us in." I ripped the car into reverse, thank goodness no one was coming up behind me, and tore out the parking lot. I noticed the boys in my peripheral vision, and I saw the quick glance back. They were gone. The sidewalk by the theatre was deserted. I drove home in a heightened state of panic. Had anyone attempted to stop me, I would have run through and faced the consequences later. I bolted into my house, scanning all around, including the sky. What did I see? Maybe nothing.
I'd peas. Descending.
Maybe nothing more than some kids looking for a ride and some real funky contacts. Yeah, right. A friend suggested they were vampires, with that old "let us in" bit, and my compelled response to open the door, and that the "we'll go see our mother" thing cuts off there. I'm still not sure what they were, but here's an epilogue I find chilling. I talk about Chad a lot. He is still my best friend, and my best ghost hunting companion and all-around cool guy. He recently moved to Amarillo, but at the time this happened, we were still living in San Angelo, of the Rampage fame. I called him and we talked briefly. He had two female friends with him at the time, both professing some sort of psychic ability. I started telling the story, leaving out the part about the black eyes for the kicker. One of the women who who were on speakerphone, stopped me. "Those children had black eyes, right?" she said. "I mean, all black eyes." Yes," I said, a bit taken aback. She said. One night last week, I had a dream about children with black eyes. They were outside my house wanting to be let in. There was something wrong with them. It took me a while to realize that it was the eyes. I hadn't even gotten as far as them wanting to come in. "What did you do?" I asked. "I kept the doors and windows locked," she said. "I knew that if they came in, they would kill me." She paused. "And they would have killed you too if you had let them into the car." And that's where the blog post ends.
So I'm thinking, right? Vampires, because they have to be let in. That is vampires, right? Yeah.
Yes, that is vampires.
Or it's death. You know how death can be like an embodiment, or like a bunch of stories are like death comes to collect the
Yes, death.
right? So
the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, Grim Reaper.
Playing Candyland.
The children are the Grim Reaper, and they just have to. Yeah.
Well,
so if you see the children, you're like, death is coming, and if you let them in, you die, and if you don't, then you're safe for another month. Yeah, or that.
I just want to tell you a bit about Brian Bethel quickly. He's a respected journalist. Like in, I think, Texas. And like,
well, that's not really respect.
Well, yeah, no one's really respected in Texas.
I said it first, I'm fine.
Shut up.
But yeah, he's since gone on to like news shows and shit and just gone, "Fucking black-eyed children, believe me." Like, he really seems to believe that this actually happened and all of that nonsense. So
So did this happen in Texas?
I think so.
Didn't say that.
I think I googled it and it happened. That's where the Black Eyed Peas were formed.
Black Eyed Peas were formed in California.
So Texas.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of the two. I knew one of them was Black Eyed Peas, the other one was Black Eyed Children.
There's drugs in the water make you hallucinate seeing black-eyed children.
Or
the black-eyed peas, whatever one you want.
I have my official final theory.
God. Raccoons.
No.
Yeah,
raccoons were not unfortunately part of this. So. Where was I going with this? I'm keeping
Raccoons.
Everything I said before is still true. All the Mortal Kombat stuff.
Okay, yeah.
However.
Alright.
Changing the characters.
The reason, no,
because you pick like two of the few characters that can't possess people. It's
fine.
Important.
It's important. So, the man in the story is not who we think he is.
He's not Brian Bethel,
He's
acclaimed
not Brian Bethel,
journalist.
Journalist that living in Texas, so it could be anything. This man, his true name, Shao Kahn.
Oh, fuck.
This is actually just a very strange retelling of the Mortal Kombat movie, of which I haven't seen. So I don't know if this is true or not. But
I'm curious to see where this goes, and I'll tell you right now.
As someone who has not seen the Mortal Kombat movie, it's pretty obvious what happens. Mm-hmm. There is a tournament called Fight Club.
Called Mortal Kombat?
No, it's called Fight Club. And
you're not meant to talk about it.
Shut up. So, children wanted to enter the Fight Club.
Yeah.
And they were told, "Oh, you're just cringe children.
You're not good enough to save
You're not poggers enough to join the Fight Club."
Sounds a lot like Mortal Kombat, yep.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we need to get our way in. What if we get possessed by a bunch of actual fighters, and then we'll get the fighting abilities? So they go on a little shebangle, a little skadoodle, and get possessed by the ones from before. Johnny Cage.
And the other
guy. So, together, they then realize, oh no, they recognize our bodies. We've been locked out of the Fight Club. How can we enter it? Well, they're having a live screening of the Fight Club at the theater, but we need to get in. But we don't have any money.
We don't have $1.50 each.
We don't have $1.50 each. So we're going to go politely ask this man in. And the way you can tell someone's possessed, their eyes go black.
Yeah.
So
naturally.
they go to ask this man.
Supernatural told us anything.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. It's a very integral plot point.
Yeah.
So
and we've also forgot to mention that Brian Bethel is actually Dean from Supernatural.
He's gone off to get his pies.
Approach the car. They're like, "Oh, please, sire, I require
Come on, Sarah, we were just
thy £1 and 50 shillings." But they actually look, and the man himself had black eyes. It was the soul of Shao Kahn, and he said, "Fuck you, this is a goddamn motherfucking ass bitch shit. I won't let you into. I don't think Shao Kahn runs the fight, but I'm gonna say he does. I won't let you into my Fight Club combat ring." And they're like, "Oh damn, I'm gonna fucking murder your wife." And so, yes, eventually they find his wife and attempt to murder her.
He's a character in the games.
With the power.
Shiva. No, it
No,
was
Shiva.
Sindel.
Was Sin. Yeah. Sindel wasn't in the 10th game, I don't care.
She's in the 11th game, and I love playing her.
I don't know, I was always a Melina main. So, yeah.
Everyone
So, it takes them years to find the wife because, you know, Shao Kahn's just playing as a regular dude. And then they use the power of Mortal Kombat 9 guest Freddy Krueger to enter the dreams of this person and attempt to bring it, but they can't get in because they're children.
Ooh.
They don't actually. They realize, oh, we don't have our actual physical strength. You know, so we can't break into this house. So we just need to ask them to let us in, and they don't do it. They're like, well, but they actually. What's not in this story is the end of the movie where they mug a homeless guy who turns out to be Raiden. And is Raiden the name?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Thunder God.
Yep,
Yeah.
Thunder God, yeah. They mug Raiden for $3. They go into the movie, they teleport in, and then they realize, oh yeah, we still don't have our strength. And then they get their necks snapped and their heads ripped out with
By
their
Goro.
spines.
Yeah.
By Goro. Goro rips them into 4 pieces. Fatality. Then the movie ends. And that is my theory.
Madeline theories are always the best to listen to.
I would argue they're the worst to listen to.
No, they're brilliant.
Brilliant is a word for it.
You can't disprove.
I can't, which is the annoying part.
I'm right.
So, Quinn, would you
Yeah.
would you like to return some sanity, please?
I mean, I've either said it's the Grim Reaper or vampires,
You
so
did.
I don't think there is any sanity in this whatsoever.
Well, the most popular theories of what the Black-Eyed Kids could be are vampires, also demons, and aliens. So,
Oh, my buddies.
you know, no sanity.
No
Head
sanity,
empty.
zero sanity. No one will know. Either that or,
Finn
like...
dies.
No, I know. Yeah.
Podcast
Moral of
is
the story,
inherited by
don't
the
let
person
children
who
with deep eyes let into your house. Just don't let children into your house, full stop, you know? Or
Don't
your
let
cars.
children full stop.
Just don't let children... Yeah, you know,
Like,
children,
just
don't even.
Go for it.
Okay, so as the new host of the Voynich Manuscript podcast,
As you're the one who slayed the original host, yeah.
as I have slayed the original host with my insane theories, but hey, it's just a theory.
Okay,
Very
theory.
Game theory.
Yeah.
I just discovered a very important story that I think could alter the course of human direction in general.
Gonna take
Now,
a nap.
I'm going to be honest. This is about anime. I don't know anything about anime. If anyone recognizes the anime that this is from, I would greatly appreciate it.
Show us.
It's got the name Nezuko in it.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
That's it, just the name Nezuko.
It's Demon
Mhm.
Slayer.
Okay,
It
Demon
is
Slayer,
Demon
whatever
Slayer.
the fuck that is.
Hi there, it's your host again. Like I said at the start of this episode, this is where our recording instruments fucked up even more, and it just kind of cut off. Madeline was about to read a fanfic that they read about Nezuko or something. I can't remember. At the point of this was like 5 days after we recorded this, so yeah, I can't remember. But that's kind of it for the episode. We finished it up there. So check out Quinn's Twitch and Madeline's, and all the normals. Check out the Patreon, the Twitter, the YouTubes, the Apple Podcast, all of that, and have a nice rest of your day. Bye, and bye from everyone else.